Most entrepreneurs think they're struggling with motivation. They're not. They're struggling with misplaced priorities. Every day you wake up with more than enough energy, more than enough desire, more than enough drive to build the life you want. But the problem isn't motivation, it's the weight of 1,000 little tasks, pulling you in 1,000 different directions, none of which move you forward. You're not failing because you're weak. You're failing because you're buried. Clarity doesn't show up when you push harder. Clarity shows up when you finally see what's actually standing in your way. And it's rarely a lack of motivation, it's the noise.
You know what I see when I talk to entrepreneurs? They're not tired, they're overwhelmed. They wake up with fire, and by 10 in the morning, that fire is buried under a mountain of tiny tasks that don't move anything forward. It's not that they can't work hard. They've been working hard their entire lives. It's that they've never been taught what deserves their energy and what doesn't. Motivation isn't the issue. Misplaced priorities are. And once you fix that, everything else just starts lining up.
If you want clarity, you have to start with something simple. Most of what you're doing doesn't matter. Not because you're doing the wrong things, but because you're doing too many things. The average entrepreneur tries to build a life by juggling a list that should have been cut in half before the day even started. When everything is a priority, nothing is. Clarity begins when you cut the noise, when you delete the tasks that only feel productive, when you stop chasing the urgent and start protecting the essential. You don't need more time, you don't need more motivation, you need fewer distractions. Cut the 90% so the 10% that actually matters can finally breathe. There are 3 kinds of work in every business: $10 work, $100 work, and $1,000 work. Most entrepreneurs collapse because they spend their lives buried in $10 work, answering every message, fixing tiny problems, chasing distractions disguised as urgency. It feels productive, it feels responsible, it feels like working hard, but it keeps you stuck exactly where you are. $100 work builds momentum, $1,000 work builds the future. And you can't touch either one until you stop drowning in the $10 pile. Clarity isn't just knowing what to do. Clarity is knowing what to stop doing.
Here's the thing nobody tells you. $10 work is comfortable. It's familiar. It makes you feel productive without asking you to grow. $100 work takes courage. $1,000 work takes identity. And most men never get there because they never stop doing the $10 stuff that keeps them stuck. If you want clarity, you have to stop acting like the janitor of your own life and start leading like you are the builder. Cut the $10 work, and your future opens up in ways you cannot even imagine.
Every priority you choose comes from one place, your identity. If you see yourself as the firefighter, you'll spend your life putting out flames. If you see yourself as the helper, you'll say yes to everything and drown under the weight of other people's needs. But if you see yourself as a builder, a leader, a man with a mission, your priorities change. Identity is the filter that decides what gets your time and what gets cut. When you know who you are, your priorities line up, your decisions sharpen, your energy focuses. When your identity is blurred, your day becomes blurred. Your priorities scatter in a dozen directions. Clarity isn't just about tasks, it's about the man choosing them. Clarity doesn't arrive as a thunderstorm, it arrives as a spark, a moment when everything slows down and you finally see the difference between what matters and what doesn't. A moment when the noise fades, the distractions fall away, and the real priorities rise to the surface. When that spark hits, your whole life shifts. You stop chasing, you stop reacting, you start choosing. One clear priority beats 100 scattered efforts. Cut the noise, cut the clutter, cut the 90% that doesn't matter, and let the spark of clarity turn into a fire you can build your life on.
People think clarity shows up as a lightning strike. It doesn't. It shows up as one small, quiet moment when you finally choose the thing that actually matters. And you stop apologizing for protecting it. That's the spark. That's the turning point. Your life won't change because you added more to your plate. Your life will change because you finally said, this one thing matters and I'm doing it first. One spark, one focus. That is how clarity begins.
There's a moment in every builder's life when the weight becomes too much and you realize something has to change. Not next week, not someday, now. You cannot build a meaningful life while drowning in meaningless tasks. You cannot lead a family while running in every direction at once. And you cannot become the man you were meant to be until you cut the noise and choose what really matters. Clarity isn't an emotion. It isn't motivation. It isn't a lightning bolt. Clarity is a decision. a decision to stop chasing everything and start choosing the one thing that actually moves your life forward. Pick the one priority that deserves your strength today. Cut everything else. Protect that priority like your future depends on it, because it does. One clear priority is the beginning of your next chapter. This is where the noise ends and the real work begins. There comes a point when every man has to decide what kind of life he's building and what kind of legacy he's leaving behind. Clarity isn't just about priorities, it's about direction. It's about courage. It's about choosing the path that aligns with who you are and who you're becoming. You don't have to get it perfect. You don't have to move fast. You just have to move forward with intention, with honesty, with purpose. Every day is a new chance to cut the noise. Choose the work that matters and build your life with your whole heart. And as you walk that road, you never walk it alone. You walk it with strength, you walk it with clarity, you walk it with faith, always faithful.